Oh, there's a pom-pom! There's a pom-pom on the hat! I looked up and was like, Lydia, there's a tribble on your head!
Yes.
Okay. What did I need? I'm staring at Seamless. Okay, music.
Shake Shack.
Why is
This
it...
this town in the image looks a lot nicer than the one that I was described, or I had described to me.
It looks a lot quainter, yes. Sense. By a bog and a swamp.
Well, you guys are more like by the dirty canals because of where the inn is, but yeah, like there's this section by the against the river that's basically all canals and shit. You guys are right at the edge of it, like the swamp side, so you're on the cheap side of canals.
Yes.
Okay. Are we ready?
And
At
I suppose.
7:45. We're never gonna start on time. We could just accept that now.
In my defense, it's 5:45 right here. So we're
technically it's only 6:45 for me, so I'll still be starting before 7.
Okay. All my notes. Last week,
I'm looking at my notes from last week, and I have Morrin and Nikolai GTFO.
Basically, yes, Morrin and Nikolai GTFO, because partway through the night, well, first Nikolai and Morrin was sent to the inn that did not match the advertisement, and she was not having it. Nikolai and Rhian went on a buddy thief mission through every single other room in the inn and discovered a dead body. That they let sit for a minute so they could finish their mission first. Then, shortly after alerting Gertie about the dead body, and discovering that the inn was the neutral end of friendly towards the less than legally adept, a angry mob took advantage of the storm ending and came in looking for warlocks. And then we got into a brief fight because nobody would back down with
somehow nobody died.
Somehow nobody died. Morrin punched the shit out of some guy and was like, fuck this shit, I'm out, and peaced out a window.
Yep.
To look for a better inn that matched advertisement. Stop it.
When it actually wants you benches.
Yeah.
Well, if it's going to call itself that, the benches better be mossy, is all I'm saying.
And, Rhian almost murdered a son of Bellum, and I've been calling him Brotherhood because I misplaced that note, but there's the Sons of Bellum.
Okay.
Specifically is the name that is most common known. Stop it.
No.
Stop it. So we're amending that in everybody's notes. Sons of Bellum. And Tin. Since I've started actually talking, now he's awake. Before he spent the entire rest of the hour sleeping behind the computer.
He's just being a good boy.
He's being a dirtball. We ended on the guards finally arriving and sending everybody separately to their rooms to be questioned about the dead body. Took her stuff from her room and claimed Salazar's old room, since they have done bounced.
And whatever was going to happen in there isn't going to happen now, I guess, because domestic issues.
While settling in her new room, she realized that somebody had gone through her stuff and stolen the missive for the Prince of Thieves and left a single gold piece behind. And now we are back in the inn. After being ordered back to your rooms, what are the 3 of you still here doing?
I took my drink upstairs. Having a drink, I'm probably gonna lay down and nap because I don't give a damn.
Oh, right.
I'm deciding that it's a fair trade. Gold piece and a bunch of bounties that are worth more. So I won't need to track him down and kill him.
Tintlet, what are you doing upon being ordered to your room while the guards question everybody?
Crying, probably.
Oh.
Aww.
Oh.
I'm also going through my 30.
Was mean.
Little bit angry, a little bit sad, very much sad, you know.
I'm also going through my 30 messages that are mostly just question marks and yos.
I know you don't pay attention to your phone, so I had to get your attention by making it vibrate off the desk.
I wasn't in the apartment at the time, so good.
Really?
I guess good idea, but yeah, like I said, I was at McDonald's. Well, I got food.
You didn't have your phone with you and you're not at home? It sounds like trouble waiting to happen.
Chai is leaning the corner of my player's handbook. He's just pressed his teeth up against it and was just sitting there like, There's bite marks on my book now. My player's handbook is getting well loved. Alright. Not here. Okay. I would like, because of heightened inhuman senses, I'm going to say Tyr should roll perception as well, but I would like Rhian and Tintlet to please roll perception for me.
You do or don't want me to?
I do. Like, I was considering it since you're not technically close enough, but Tyr has that slight exactly
the
going for
barbarian
him.
thingy.
Okay.
What?
But yeah, like
Yeah,
you
my
were able to
birthday
roll for it, you just
today,
have a
so-
different scale of difficulty for what you can hear because you're further away. Yeah, so Tintlet is absolutely engrossed in her feelings. Just kind of tucked into bed, like, well, I thought I had a good thing going, but then she turned out to be kind of a dick. Meanwhile, Tyr, while you are sitting in bed enjoying your drink, you can hear muffled bickering. Vaguely make out what's going on. Rhian.
I told you!
You can always tell when it's about to, like, freak out, because everything, like, pauses and goes stupid quiet, and then, yeah.
Oh.
Alright, I'm back. Okay, so I hear muffled bickering.
Yes, you hear bickering. In talking and discussions from outside.
From the guards?
You recognize a couple guard voices, and you can't quite make out. Stop biting my dice tray!
Aww.
He just needs to munch. Be nice.
He likes to just lean up on something and go, arf.
He
likes to
nibble boy.
munch.
He likes to munch. You can recognize the sound of the guard master's voice. You can't quite make out what. There's two voices responding to him. You can't quite make out what one of them is saying because it's quiet and hush. The other one sounds like Rashna's friend. or former friend, formerly known as Rash's friend. Her Tintlet. Her
Who's
name is
Rashna?
Rashna now.
Right.
Rhian, you are right
Rhianna's
next door.
wondering
You
who
can hear
Rashna is.
you hear them talking. So you kind of like get up, kind of put your ear against the wall, and you can hear pretty much everything. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Here, you make out that they are discussing. You kind of glean that the guardmaster is talking with the two sons of Bellum.
Sons of something.
Yes. About the murder. Rhian, as you were listening, sorry. Alright, I'm closing this. I'm closing this and putting it up so I can't see your face. Not gonna work. Rhian, as you were listening, you can kind of make out that the guardmaster seems to be deferring to the Sons of Bellum, specifically to the quieter voice that is Glenn.
Anticlimactic name.
What?
Nothing.
He's simply asking. He's like variations of like, yes, of course. Did you see anything? Oh, but you did. Can I ask why? What did he do? And so you start upon listening to them and the hushed responses from Glenn and the irritable responses from Afu. You basically glean that one of them did it, and they're not being forthcoming as to which one or as to why. But the guardmaster doesn't seem to want to ask much further once they start along the line, kind of like of it was part of business. Do you really want to get involved in the matters of the Sons of Bellum? He backs off completely. So by the time you hear footsteps coming around to your room, the conversation ends. You hear footsteps coming around your room. By that time, you're pretty much like, well, at least they don't think it was me. And here, what you know from that is, you don't know exactly what you could only hear Apu's responses. So you heard a lot of what was going on. Well, why would you do that? None of your fucking business kind of responses. So like you could probably piece together, but you don't know like all many details. You just got the general sense of the guardmaster was deferring to them, and they apparently know about the body. Okay, so now
Can't help but feel kind of vindicated because I'm pretty sure I accused them of that last session.
I believe you did.
Baseless accusation, but it was right. I mean, technically, I accused them of being warlocks, but the implication of they who done it was there. So it's half right.
Alright, so here. After the conversation kind of dies down, you hear footsteps move past your door. Some of them keep going. A couple of them stop. You kind of hear the outside.
I get up and go and open the door.
Alright, waiting on the other side is the halfling guardmaster, Harold Dinklage.
Right. Oh, Harold.
And one of the twins and a guard you haven't seen. He kind of like, alright, you're up first. Can I come in?
Sure. Go ahead. I step aside. Let him in.
Sidles on in. Give me my notes, buddy. Give me my notes, buddy. You can have the book and read the notes.
Kind of stand there and fold my arms, looking none too pleased that they're still going about this when it sounds to me like they've already got an answer.
Alright. You see him, he just kind of sidles over to the desk, pulls a chair out, hops up onto it. So,
Sure, right, make yourself at home. Might as well.
yes. Well, you did have a concern about an apparent deceased. That matter has been resolved, so you and your
Glad to hear that.
acquaintances, you and your acquaintances don't have to worry about that. However, you have managed to get yourself into quite a state, I can't lie. You're one of those girls almost killed a son of Bellum. Do you understand? You look traveled. Do you understand what that means around here?
I also almost saved his life as well.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say. She did, but she
I'm not
also
here.
brought him back, saved his life, so I'm not sure what the trouble is here. He's still standing. He's not hurt anymore, so...
We could have a conversation about fixing the thing you broke. The important thing is if it weren't for that she-elf with him, that scary feller there in the cloak wants all of you as badly as as your friend that got away for being involved.
Purpose, I've done nothing. I understand that Rhian shot him, but it was mostly in self-defense at that point. He wasn't gonna let us out, and we're not involved in this matter.
I understand there are a few.
Listen, to be frank, I don't give a damn who the fuck they are. I don't care if they're the king. We're not from here. We're just traveling through. What?
She said "Viva la Resistance" in an extremely
Yeah.
bad French accent.
Yes.
Exactly how it should be said.
Yeah, you can't say it in a good French accent. Also, I was slightly choking at the time.
Even better.
I can't reach you to pat on your back, so I'm just gonna pat the mic. If you would just calm down. I'm trying to handle this with as little people being dragged out in chains as possible. 4 villagers already are going to be stick before the Hallmasters tomorrow. I have 2 questions for you, and then I will leave. Can you answer my questions?
I suppose that depends entirely on what sort of questions they are.
He kind of adjusts himself, his legs dangling on the chair. Alright. What was your association with the man who apparently ran out of here before we arrived?
Really no true association. I met the man 2 nights ago. I barely know him. He was just a new drinking buddy. Potential working partner. We picked up some bounties and we're possibly going to go look at him. I've known him, again, all at 2 days. And I know nothing about his past. Dad seemed pretty guarded about that.
Alright. What do you know about the Court of the Dragon?
I know fuck all about the Court of the Dragon. To be perfectly honest.
Roll persuasion. That's all I needed to know. And he's gonna hop down and leave the room and waves the other guards to follow.
Happy to be of assistance.
Don't go anywhere for the night, at least, please. And he leaves.
Let's see. Close the door.
Alright. Tintlet, you are interrupted from your introspection by a harsh rap at the door.
I sigh and I open the door just a crack.
Afu is standing on the other side.
I close the door.
You hear it from the other side. I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake! Last, open the door, please."
I'm back in bed. I'm pouting again. Nothing to do with any of this, please.
All right. So the knocking goes on for a minute before it finally quiets.
Coward.
Then you hear knocking
That's not how
again
you
from
knock.
further down on the door, much more insistent. Mom, please open the door. I need to ask you questions. And it's not Afu's voice.
Oh.
I guess I open the door.
Okay. The halfling guardmaster comes in, looks at you, looks back. Afu's still in the hallway. You're like, "I'm sure I can handle this. This is my town. If you want to go, wait down the hall." And she very reluctantly goes away. Guardmaster comes in with a one of the twins, and this guard, you recognize him. He's usually hanging around, keep an eye at night around where the troops camp. He kind of gives you a little wave, and then stands in the corner and looks uncomfortable. Guardmaster goes over, stands next to you. He's like, "All right. Same as the discussion with your friend. I have a couple of questions."
I just grunt at him.
First, what was your association with the man who left before the guard arrived?
Barely knew him. He was just there when I found them in the forest the other day, and
You found them in the forest. What were they doing in the forest?
I don't know.
Right before he gets to me.
The bad liar. Okay. All right. Is from Tintlet's perspective, is she lying or does she not care enough to know?
She just doesn't care. I mean, she knows that they were talking the night before and all that, but she wasn't super present for that anyway, so as far as she's aware, she just saw them and thought they were just having a jovial time, and then he was just there the next day.
Okay. You see him, he just kind of nods, he's like, mm-hmm. Alright. What is your knowledge of the Court of the Dragon?
The what?
That's an answer.
You see, he kind of just nods. You're like, I didn't think so. You're the soldier outside says that you're not from around here. I didn't expect you'd have much knowledge in it, but I had to ask. And you see, he just kind of looks very uncomfortable for a second. Like he's like, you know, That's all I needed to know. And he's gonna walk away, like, leave the room.
I appreciate that.
I have a question before anything gets to me. Would I have been able to be eavesdropping on this?
Were you actively trying?
Yes.
Roll perception.
She's in the room. It's an 18.
You heard everything.
All right. What do I know about the Court of the Dragon?
You know the lore description. They're a group of, it's basically the Mafia. That's what you know about it. It's basically the Mafia operating out of one of the neighboring smaller kingdoms. It's led by a man who sits on the Prime City Council, as if he is a regular king. You know that. You know that.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain that in the past I've worked for them. I would be part of a small operation, not necessarily in them. But based on Rhiann's personality, would questions about that cause? All right, yeah. There's no need for me to ask that. I take a sip from the rum.
How big of a sip?
Enough to fuck up my dexterity and pump
Roll
up my
Constitution
charisma.
save. It's a mechanic now, so you have to fail a Constitution save before it takes effect.
That's a 12.
You did not fail.
Take another sip. Not a failure. It's an 8.
Yes.
Never been so stressed that I have a great constitution.
You grew up in the middle of the woods. You have a fine constitution.
I think my constitution might actually be better than a barbarian.
It is. I'm pretty sure.
Possibly.
Which, I don't know what I was thinking when I put those out there, but...
You were thinking he needs to be a tank.
I guess so.
Level 4 you can boost it, or if you don't want to
I'm
take
going to! This is fucking stupid. A freaking sailor of a barbarian who drinks all the time with no constitution. That makes no sense!
Alright. Rhian, almost as soon as you hear the door close, Tintlet's room next to yours, before you can lift your ear away from the wall, you hear on your door.
So I stashed the bottle under the bed.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Fuck. What am I trying? I just need to toss it under. I don't need to try and be slight about it. Alright, so what am I subtracting? I'm subtracting 5 from this roll. That's 19.
Alright, you
that works.
as you're turning around going to the door, you kind of like tuck it to the side, you're like, and it goes from your hand, slides across the floor, under the bed, out of sight.
Nice.
Didn't mean to be that stylish, but cool.
Alright.
I'm an idiot, so I clumsily undo a couple of buttons on my cleavage and answer the door.
You open
Well,
the
that's
door.
one way to do it.
You open. I can't believe I'm asking this, but does Rhian even have cleavage?
Barely. It's more about the dictionary term of cleavage. That's why I.
She's just showing that area of her chest.
It's a suggestion. Just adjusting her armor, like, okay.
I will say.
Do they have push-up bras in this world? Because we will
I'm wearing a lot
They
of
have
leather.
armor. You can tie armor's her way to do shit.
I'm wearing a lot of leather. and his tied like that. But yeah, a B cup is probably decent in this area.
You
Maybe.
can cleave it with a B cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
There you go.
No, that's perfectly adequate.
I can't wait to see what I title this episode. I write down lines when I'm editing. I'll write down lines that make me laugh while editing it, and I'll just like randomly pick one to be the title.
B cup is adequate.
Because it's inadequate. Okay.
Barely a B cup. Still B.
Rhian, you open the door to the halfling guard master and the two guards. You recognize one of the twins and the one that Salazar enchanted when both of you were in the market.
Oh.
The guard master, the two human guards kind of look at you, go like one of them looking slightly irritable, the other one just you can tell that they're kind of looking anywhere but at you. The guard master himself, the leader of this outfit.
Oh, my underwear! I just opened 2 buttons.
If you roll insight, I can explain why.
Sure.
You gather that this clearly, if not early 20s, no younger than 19, no older than 23-year-old guard already had a crush on you, and this is not gonna happen.
This could help me, though.
Wow.
So yeah, one of the twins is crushing on Rhian. The guard master, who's the leader of this outfit, looks up distinctly, not able to see your additional.
Oh yeah.
That's a problem.
Slightly. Just like
I feel like bending down would be patronizing, so I won't do that.
Yes.
be a little obvious. Like, good evening,
If you look down far enough, you can see cleavage.
Yeah. You okay?
Fine. I have to recover from that. Like, alright, I'm sorry for all of this. We do have a few questions. May I come in?
Make yourself at home, big man.
What do you roll for that?
Performance.
Yes!
We'll roll sleight of hand because I just realized that performance and sleight of hand are inversed. So that's a 19.
Holy fuck. This poor man.
I'm doing what I need to stay alive.
Ma'am? And he comes in and like has to sit on the chair, gestures to the bed, turning very like he's the color of his beard now.
Green beard.
There has been no indication of whether or not this man is colorblind.
It's hereditary. If one of them is,
He's a halfling.
I'm joking. Half what though? No. half missing, I get it.
All right. What was I? Yes. It was brought to my attention that you were the one who discovered the body in the next room, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Normally, I'd have some questions about that, but it has since been... Well, I have some unfortunate answers. So instead I just have a few questions for you. Let's start with, what is your association with the man who assisted in almost killing a son of Bellum in my town?
He bought me a couple of drinks, and I asked him about a job that I was given. See if he might have any more information, because he looked like he did.
And what did the two of you do in the woods with the rest of your group?
An orgy? No. Hold on.
When Shake Shack finally calls me and says they're outside, I'm going to need that break.
You know, the usual. Walked around, swam a little bit, fought some trees, things like that.
All right.
By the way, there was an old woman up there who was controlling the trees.
Are you sure about this? She's responsible for... Where is she now?
She died when we killed the tree.
She died when you killed...
She was inside the tree.
Inside... By controlling the trees. In what manner do you mean?
I mean, she was running around on the water. The trees started following her, and then they clumped up around her and grew into one big tree monster, which she was at the center of. She was heading to the town, so we needed to kill her. Sorry about that. Hope she wasn't a friend of yours. But I think she would have died anyway, because we found old, I don't actually know his name, and I suppose I should say Greenbeard instead of this guy. But we found the green-bearded man dead as well. He'd been dead for a long time, so that's an issue.
You were in the woods, found a body, and a old woman died. Could you describe this woman for me?
I describe her to the best of my ability. I'm not good with descriptions, but I hope that Rhian is. I also haven't seen her in real life, but Rhian has. She also had black ooze dripping down her ear, which I think may have been something along the lines of killing her, so...
Well, I have a town paranoid about
Another
warlocks
character flaw
and
of
hags.
Rhian, by the way, oversharing.
I noticed.
While drunk, anyway.
You've given me more information than I expected to get tonight. What part in all of this did the man take that I asked you about to begin with?
Well, like I said, he bought me the other night, and we talked, and I wanted to ask him some questions, so we talked while we were going out into the woods. And then, when we came back out of the woods, the monster was there heading towards the town, so, he helped kill it. That's pretty much it.
See, what I'm hearing is you and this man were partner in the death of an old woman who, from the sound of it, may have been Mam Pren. She's lived out there for a few years now. I don't know anything about tree monsters. What is your knowledge of the group called the Courts of the Dragon?
Now, after oversharing, I can finally lie. Just some. All I know is I'm a bounty hunter, so it have something to do with crime, not the kind of stuff I would get to about. What do I roll for that?
Roll for deception.
Alright.
You're gonna roll deception and add 5 to it.
Yep. That's 12 plus 5 is 17.
So now I have two I have 2 more bodies to look for. Do you know anything about where the man might have gone?
I haven't the slightest. I think he said somebody be south.
Roll for deception plus 5.
Alright.
Well,
I
you
actually
rolled that one.
I would also like to say, I actually don't know where he's. Like, did he say where he was going?
He did not, so you did lie. Ma'am, you have to understand. I'm sure you're aware who the Sons of Bellum are.
And I'm sure you're aware after that shitty.
Do you know why?
That I actually don't know. No.
Do you know why they might be after this man?
I assume that he has something to do with the man they're hunting. That's actually the questions I had to ask him. Didn't strike me for someone on the lawful side of the spectrum to get my meaning. So I asked him. That's why I asked him about the. That's why I asked him about the thief or whatever that I'm hunting. Thought he might know anything about it.
So you're hunting this thief?
Well, not anymore. I don't have the bounty anymore. I sold it.
Alright. So one more time. Do you know where did he mention where he might have gone?
Not that I can Not that I can remember. Like I said, I thought he said something about coming from the south. My imagination, because apparently I need to roll a deception check to say that.
Coming from, not going.
No, not going.
Because of the fact you rolled an @1 last time, you have to roll persuasion now.
Alright. I would also like to say, I don't know what Rhian knows. I certainly don't know anything about what I'm saying right now.
You have no idea where he's gone. You might have ideas of where someone might of that inclination are more likely to go. But
Why did I
you
need
don't
to
know
roll
where Nikolai
deception?
go. Because you said you gave a direction, so you needed to roll for the lie.
I didn't say he said that, I said maybe. There's 4 directions. He may be going in any of them. That's a 15.
Alright. Now about your friend who was... He kind of glances over at the guard Salazar charms. Who was with you in the market. Do you know where they might have gone?
I haven't the slightest. I didn't know that they were gone from the inn until a few hours ago. But I think you might have a hard time tracking that.
Well, luckily, if they've left, that's not my problem. And I hops down from the chair, goes like, please stay out of the swamp.
Anything can...
And whatever activities you were involved in that resulted in you discovering a body in a locked room, perhaps refrain while you're still here. And then he...
I nod and smile. I realize that my body language doesn't translate with a non-camera, though.
Did you actually nod and smile as if I could see you?
Yes.
Aww. He leaves.
This is why you don't drink before getting questioned, by the way. Just an instructional video. I can lie about what I'm prepared about, but my awkward ass cannot come up with shit on the fly, even if I have charisma. Also, it didn't occur to me until I was telling him, maybe I should have reported the body before a few hours later.
Possibly.
In my defense, it was not within city limits.
Alright. The guards head out. My food has yet to arrive. You can hear voices and such in the hall as they go questioning the other people staying at the inn. Around distantly you can hear a familiar voice returning, very flustered, being questioned as well, and then angrily slamming a door on the other side of the wing. It's Gallbladder, since if I say his name you won't remember.
Kyogol, I remember it. Rhian doesn't. Still don't know if I'm getting it right because, you know...
Kyogol, yes.
Is it Kaio or Hayo?
C-A-I-O.
Okay. Ciao!
And then slowly the sounds of the guards outside seems to filter out and leave, and the inn is quiet except for the movement of people elsewhere in their rooms. Having been questioned and left, what are you three doing? It is now night, so you know. It is night post-storm, probably foggy outside again.
Are there any people still in the hallways of the rooms? Guards and such?
What were you asking me before the phone rang? You were asking if there were guards outside?
Yeah, I think that was the last question. I remember.
Yes.
Okay. As you listen, it sounds like the only activity at this level, for the time being at least, are people in their rooms. You don't hear any guard voices.
I take a peek.
The hall is empty.
No, no, no. I knock on Tintlet's door.
Tintlet, you hear a little, and a god-awful stage whisper.
The door.
You're a little quiet again. Can you go through the mic?
I open the door and I'm still kind of bawling. And I'm like, this sucks.
I
I'm
know.
fully expecting like sleep kind of thing now.
What was that?
I'm fully expecting a sleepover situation where we just complain about
Hey, it's night, and I forgot what I was gonna say.
You snuck over to
It's night.
Tintlet's. It's night.
It's night, so they told us not to go anywhere, so let's go somewhere.
sounds good. I don't want to cause problems.
All right. I've added Song Wukong to my party. Now let's get the Pigman. That's not a good Sant. I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm gonna be thinking about Journey to the West for a little while now, but I go over to Tyr's room.
Oh
And
my
not
god,
quietly.
Tyr is your pig demon?
I
Awesome.
don't know. I like after I said it, I thought maybe the blue dragon spirit of the river would have been a better analogy here.
Probably.
Maybe.
Just maybe.
Pig demon's a coward. And I'm sorry,
So
who
I'll switch references, okay? I
was the
regretted
Monkey
it as
King?
soon
Would
as I said
Salazar
it.
have been the Monkey King? Salazar
Probably.
would have been the Monkey
Yeah,
King.
Yes.
shape-shifting trickster of sorts.
Salazar would have been the Monkey King, but right now Tentlet's my Monkey King because
Alright,
she's
Tintlet,
first.
you are the Monkey King.
That's why I called her my Wukong. Because again, I got her first, so
Oh dear.
Does that make you the monk who gets captured all the time?
no, that makes me the I can't remember the other one.
Alright,
There's
let's
another
play this
demon,
story.
right?
Let's play this story. We're getting so sidetracked.
I infected you. What? Anyway. Tyrenan.
Whispers. He'll roll out of bed and like get over with a very confused look and kind of just barely crack the door open at that. What the fuck
That's
do you
how
want?
you knock persistently, Alfu. It's night and they told us not to do anything. Let's go out and do something.
Alright, I'm done. I'll go with you. I'm usually alright with obeying laws, but I don't like being told specifically what to do.
Alright, so we have a few options. How long are our rooms paid for, by the way? Oh, no, Lindsay. Oh, she's dead.
You pay day by day.
Yeah.
For her room at some point, because I don't remember her saying she did. We kind of just started squatting.
Alright, so we have a few options here. We can either split, or we can just fuck around outside and then come back.
Is there any reason for us to really stay here?
Tintlet, what happened is you stole Rhiannon's room, which is why she ended up sleeping in Tyr's room, which is why she now took Salazar's room.
Oh dear. I didn't realize it went that way. Even better.
Okay.
And somehow I didn't pay for a single room, just right out there. Don't know how, but I didn't.
Alright.
What
were you saying?
She was giving options of what to do, and my response is there really any reason for us to stick around here anymore anyway? Kill the hag.
Not really.
We're being told that we need to stay in here, and I don't really want to. And our potential working buddy's gone.
Solved.
Yeah, the murder solved.
The murder solved. The working buddy's gone. We have a goth elf somewhere around here that seemed interesting.
She is interesting, but I don't know if she's really going to want to meet up with us again. She seemed really eager to get going again. That's usually how she goes. We'll see, though. We might find her. Let's go.
Alright. Outward. So we go outside. Wait, through the window or through a door? These are important options.
Yeah, are they going to be guarded?
I check the stairwell.
You see the guard that Salazar enchanted camped out at one of the tables downstairs.
Alright, I go back to my room and look out. Wait, there's a window in my room, right?
There's a fireplace in your room. What's your passive? You remember there's a window in Nikolai's room which is now vacant. Because it blew open and cards flew everywhere. Especially that one evil eye card that kept showing up behind everybody.
Yes.
Alright, I check Nikolai's room. Is it locked or unlocked?
You left it unlocked.
My man. So,
roll perception.
Fuck. You also left it trapped. That's a 17.
Also, did you wait any time before you decided to sneak out, or did you, because your drunk effects last for an hour?
No.
I would have waited until I was sober.
Alright.
A little bit of time has passed then.
As you come into the room, you see a small bit of thread kind of like fall, but when you stop for a second, nothing really happens. So you're just like, not a trap, just to let somebody know if somebody came in. As you're going towards the window, you see one of the floorboards near the bed kind of sticking up a little bit.
Fuck. It's under the floorboard. I approach the floorboards.
It remains kind of sticking up a little bit.
Touch it.
What'd you say?
I touch it. I try to see if something was hidden under it, or if it's just a shitty floorboard.
So you're trying to pull it up?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. It takes a second, but it is just loose board. Fairly hastily put back into place. You managed to just pull it up. Easy enough. Inside there is a little hollowed out section of the flooring, kind of between two of the beams that basically hold the entire floor up. There's like this little hollowed out area. It's got like paper and stuff padded in it to keep like any matter of critters from crawling through this area. You see a small dark leather bag in it. About the size of my Hogwarts bag, about this big.
I open the nerd bag.
It's not a Hogwarts bag, but it shapes about like that with the overtop. Doesn't matter.
It's a little rucksack.
Oh,
That's the name of that kind of bag, by the way.
thank you. It's a rucksack. You open the leather rucksack. You discover the other bottle of rum from Kaio's room. a small bag that when you touch it kind of jingles, sounds like a coin purse. And
Kitty!
Oh!
He's trying to get my
Oh.
pom-pom. No, you can't have that. It is not for you.
Mother, give me the trouble.
Yes.
Is that
Where did he
Grim or
come
Reaper?
from?
It's Graham.
Ah.
Yeah, short hair equal grim.
Yes. Yeah,
I just see small void whenever one of them appears on
Yeah, they just kind of blend into it.
You gotta infer with.
Huh?
Liv has the loading screen for me, and I'm so sad about it.
Oh, he jumped up and was trying to attack my hat.
A small void was going after Olivia's pom-pom. Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Cat distractions aside.
Yes, cat distractions aside.
Coin purse, bottle of rum.
Yes.
A spare shirt that seems to have a large slash across the front of it. And a couple of knives strapped together.
What quality of knife?
+1
I was
daggers.
ready for that.
What did it say? +1 daggers?
+1 daggers.
Alright. So I take the daggers.
Upon examining them, you can see that there's kind of like very finely crafted dark metal, kind of like swooped outward a bit. The handle is got this like claw tip look in the end of it, wrapped in black leather on the handles. There's an engraving on one of them in a language you can't read, but you vaguely, since you are familiar with the Court of the Dragon, you've seen the written language before. You can tell that it looks like Draconic.
Alright. Hey Tyr, what's this say?
I take a look.
You speak dragon, right?
I do speak dragon.
It says it says Viper.
It says Viper on it. Very
And
edgy.
Rhian, when he says that, you notice that as it's Draconic written, but you notice that that's like a typical way to refer to a poisoned weapon.
Sweet.
So they both have like the +1 damage. The one with that written on it, you know that if you hit somebody with it, they have a chance of taking a d4 of poison damage.
Is that a dagger of venom, or is it something else homebrewish?
Mildly homebrew, but if it's easier to think of it as a dagger of venom, sure. I'll add it to your inventory later.
Are they both the same style?
They both are shaped the same, but only one of them is
Only one of them
the
is
other one
poison.
is just a +1.
Alright, looks
Interesting.
like I have a couple of daggers, and I respect this man, so I'll take out 2 gold and place them back in the bag, and put the bag where it was.
What
Rhian's
are you
being
talking
smartass.
about? Really?
Oh, just actually, well, yeah, both of them are pretty damn good. Both of them are worth far more than 2 gold. But so was the bounty. So
Hey,
we're
what?
even.
What about the bounty?
Oh, he took the bounty for the thief prince, but I got a bounty that's worth more for non-thief princess.
I'm not surprised. Should have seen that one coming.
Alright, so
How do you know he took it?
I'm fairly certain that I saw hiding something in his
I mean, it
cloak.
makes sense. He clearly didn't want us to do the job, so I figured it was him anyway.
Also, I don't know anyone who's been around stealthy enough to have done it.
Good
Unless
point.
it was
Good
Tintlet.
point.
I know Tintlet's over here like I am tonight.
Although those Suns peoples, whatever the fuck they're called, they murdered
Sons of
that
bitches.
fella. Yeah, sons of bitches. We'll go with that. We killed that fella, and we didn't know about it until after it happened. So I don't know.
Rhian,
But
this is
I'm
the
sure
first...
he took it.
Yep.
Rhian, what?
I was gonna tell you one thing, but then I remembered that it's not applicable, so never mind.
What was it, though?
I had forgotten for a second that you overheard them talking in the murdered man's room, and that even though you wouldn't have been able to hear what was said to Tyr. So it doesn't matter, you already knew that information.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I
Thanks then.
place the floorboard back over the corpse, bag, and,
Well, it's leather, it's corpse, it's something.
and I look out the window.
The window faces out directly down into one of the canals that the mossy bench just kind of leans out over, like, you know, those pier houses that kind of stick out a little too far, make you nervous to go inside. Kind of sticks out a little bit like that over the canal.
So we're gonna be swimming for you.
Fine with
Jump
that.
out there.
With your passive of
Alright.
16, you can see that climbing on the roof a little bit, there is a drainage pipe that goes down.
Them's shimmying. So
shimmying?
yeah.
Alright. Everybody shimmying, would that be athletics or acrobatics? Let's say that's...
My brain says athletics. My heart, which has +6 in acrobatics, says acrobatics.
Everybody roll an athletics check.
I
Also-
lean out the window, take one look at it, and figure that's probably not gonna hold me.
So how is Tyr getting down?
Are we directly over the water, basically?
Yeah.
I jump in the water.
Also, are we trying to be quiet?
You can dive.
I am.
Alright, what did you say, Tintlet?
I guess I fall into the water.
With
You
a
could
6.
probably scale the thing.
I got athletics of 6 though.
Oh. That's true.
Alright, so along with your athletics, I need everyone to roll... Well, Tyr, you're just jumping in the water. So, I want everyone to
can
roll stealth as
stealthily.
well.
Stealth?
Yep.
13 stealth.
Look at Tyr go.
He's
Natural 20.
stealthy diver. Just a little bit of bloop.
Alright, so Rhian, as you are climbing out...
No splash.
By the way, Tintlet rolled really well on the stealth, so she stealthily eats shit.
I kind of realized before it happened I was gonna fall, so I did it quietly.
Alright, so
Pencil that.
Rhian, as you are climbing out, just kind of doing your awful stage whisper back, trying to just like, the thing's this way. You kind of, your foot skids a bit on the wet shingles, but you manage to make it to the pipe. As you are looking back to try and wave the others towards you, though, Tyr comes to the window, takes one look, disappears for a second, and then gracefully swan dives out the window into the water without making a sound.
He is something of a sailor, so it makes sense.
He's also just reached level 3 in his Storm Herald. Give him time, and he has a swim speed.
He's gonna be. I'm going for that.
Tintlet, you as you're climbing out, you try to make your way over to the drainage pipe. You slip on the wet shingles. You can feel yourself start to slip though, so you kind of like shove yourself away and fall flailing, stifling a squeak before you just splash into the water.
There's a loose shingle there.
By your luck, though, you hit the water around the same time as a load of trash being dropped downstream. So
Downstream. Okay, good.
Alright, that's good.
it doesn't seem to draw much attention. In fact, when you listen, this area is not a quiet zone. Like the current itself, kind of like is like rushing and splashing up against a curve. There's constantly sounds of people like throwing stuff out. You're in Cheapside. The water's not clean.
Awesome.
Good old Thames.
A surface ground, since I would have probably felt Tintlet jump down beside me, look around to make sure she's okay.
Wait, how tall is this building anyways? 2 stories? Probably.
2 stories.
Well, yeah, but how tall is that?
I think an
20
average
feet?
story is like what?
The average is about 10 feet,
9
so
feet.
it's gonna be about, for this area, I'd say it's probably about 20-25 feet tall. Off the water, however, from the bottom of the building, there is another, like, 6-foot drop.
Lindsay's laughing. What are the kitties doing?
So, because of the distance,
Oh,
I guess
laser
what I have
pointer.
to do... I guess I have to do is, actually, I already narrated it, so we're gonna let it slide. Next time, though, I will probably ask for a follow-up, acrobatics, like a dexterity save from you, Tintlet, to make sure that you land okay.
Okay.
But for this time, we're just gonna let it slide, because I didn't think of it.
I know it was a pretty good stealth roll, so that's...
Yeah. Okay. Here with the fucking nat 20.
I will swim to the edge of the canal. Make sure Tintlet's with me so I can help her up first.
My doggy paddle after you.
Tintlet's from a desert. It's amazing that she can swim.
Maybe she's by an oasis. They've got a lake or something there. I don't know.
Yeah, she's probably splashed around an oasis, but like
That's why you can doggy paddle.
considered disrespectful
Yeah.
to this water, and there's not much in the desert.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
Like, water
That's
is
true.
holy to her people.
Precious.
Like, this shit's sacred.
Maybe in the years she's been with the troop, she's encountered more water, but she's still not like good at swimming.
Oh, Tyr will help her out then. He'll reach over and grab her and make sure she stays afloat. Here you go, lass. Let's get you up. Help her up to the side
As
of the
you are
canal.
helping her up, Rhian slowly, like, shimmies down the drainage pipe to about your level to water. She's kind of, like, hanging on. Right above the water level where it slides down.
No, Rhian. Climb out and give myself a good shake. I don't got fur, but...
You're wearing fur.
True. I'll shake myself to dry my furs.
I
Right,
make
so
my way to my friends.
What?
That I assume smell right now, even if
You
this was
probably a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Although I do remember this building described as one of the ones that's the furthest on the corner, so maybe upstream there aren't many buildings.
You're close enough to the swamp that most of the smells that you smell, it smells like swamp. So you can't
Well, I
tell.
already smelled like
You
swamp,
guys
so it's no
already
big
smell
pick
like
and deal.
swamp right now. You can't really tell how much of the
So-
smell you're smelling is human waste.
It's all blending together at this
But
point.
it is not clean water.
That
that
good
mug.
ass on fire smell.
I said I have
What?
that mug.
This one?
Yes.
It's a Pirates of the Caribbean mug.
Yes.
Have that one?
Yeah, Sam gave it to me too.
Nice. Oh, nice!
Okay.
I should have guessed.
I got the attention span of a goldfish. We've climbed out
2 seconds.
of the canal. It's
That's really funny.
Find a goth.
Alright, so where are we going?
We hunt a goth elf,
You're hunting goth elves.
and then we get the hell out of it.
Hunting what?
A goth elf.
Okay, so trying to decide.
One day
Let
we
poor
will get
Morrin do
Lindsay's
something. She
character.
hasn't done anything
Yeah,
yet.
I was about to say is like while I decide what you guys are about to roll, we are going to switch. Morrin. Upon leaving,
Yes.
finally it is her turn. Okay.
One day we will get Lindsay in the party, I swear.
For real.
Like
You
even
know,
even her lovable dwarf mom rogue.
She was always going
was
off and
always
doing her own
fucking off to
thing.
do her own thing. Lindsay's allergic to cooperating easily. She's like, no, you have to earn it.
No, I'm just saying, mom dwarf, she was there to get shit done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She did
Mom
it.
Dwarf
She
seems
did
like
it.
like a team player. It's just no one else did. That's not Mom Dwarf's fault. um,
Okay. Alright, so Morrin. As you leave the sounds of the kerfuffle behind you, you're traveling. The streets it's dark by now. The streets have fogged back over again after the rains. So you're actively looking for an inn.
She's gonna wander just a little bit to kinda... Is it raining? That's the first question. Is it still
not
raining?
Still raining. The mob came after the rain ended, but it is kind of like misty, foggy. Can't see that well right now. You can see a lot better than most people, because of like just the after rain.
Okay. Well, she is going to kind of, now that it's not raining and she's here, she's going to try to get a lay of the land. She is interested in what these Sons of Bellum are all about. Being from where she's from, I would imagine she has never heard of them.
No. Like you
Okay.
have heard the name Bellum, and you recognize it as one of the main gods from this area, but besides that, you don't know what it's about. You don't know what the worship is like. You don't know who the Sons of Bellum are.
Feel about the gods from this area, like,
your impression.
are they?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna ask if it was like they're heretics or like it's just like different strokes.
Your impression would be in the more rural areas, they kind of would have blended in with the gods that were already worshipped. They just, whenever you see something that relates to one of the 9, they are it seems a lot more like officialized, a lot shinier basically. So you kind of get the impression that these are like the state gods. Whether or not Morrin would decide that is like what that means. Like, these clearly, they seem out of place in a lot of the regions from the north down to this point you have been. Like, especially up in the north when you first encountered them, you're like, well, this clearly doesn't match anything else from here. Like, the only one that remotely felt similar would have been one called, you've heard her a couple times, not as often, I believe this is how I spelled it. It's Bashwag. It's the only one that sounded remotely familiar, kind of concept of a god to you. She's basically like Grandmother Death.
Okay.
The name for Rhian is Bogwash.
I wasn't sure, like, as far as how you deal with the Raven Queen in this world, like if it's kind of a fanatical following.
Yeah, your knowledge of the Raven Queen would basically be so far the same basic. It's like no one really knows where she came from. No one really she's shrouded in mystery up until her arrival, and you would see her the way to Shadarkai see her at Shadarkai lore. Anything beyond that or other points of view you've not encountered.
Okay. But as far as I know, even like Bashwag, they're different gods from the Raven Queen. They're not different interpretations of the same god.
As far as it seems so far. Bashwag,
okay.
The most you've heard of her, she represents like the one that felt most familiar. She pretty much represents like an old woman. She's associated with like a kind of the washerwoman archetype. There's images of her often show her like at the river with a washboard.
Bogwash, got it.
Okay. Then she would be interested in knowing more about the Bellum thing. If there was an obvious religious shrine anywhere, she might stop by there. If not, she might be looking more towards either flies. That's why I get distracted so many times. I've got fruit flies in here like crazy.
Oh, I hate that shit.
It's all once a year. It's happening at my office and here, and I'm about to like blow my brains out because I can't get away from them.
Do you keep oranges? They love oranges.
No, I do not actually.
For me, it was always bananas.
I'm not bananas either.
Bananas and tomatoes.
I have no fruit except frozen grapes.
What about the pumpkin behind you?
You know, they were here before that pumpkin.
Okay.
Also, it's a squash. Not a fruit.
Gourd.
The gourd. She would actually be most interested in seeing if there are any of these people in these clothes that she saw around elsewhere.
Elsewhere? Okay.
Yes.
You're just kind of like wandering around, just generally looking?
Yes.
Okay.
And she might peer into some inns if she doesn't see them outdoors.
Okay. So if you're gonna do the wander look around, that would be perception.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, I had it loaded and now it decided that it hadn't loaded.
Roll 20!
Hold on, it was all loaded up and ready to go, and now it's like, eh.
Yeah.
I know you had me ready to go, I just don't feel like it.
Like, do I have to?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
My
Wow,
internet
I hate
is
that.
struggling anyways. I think it's the storm.
Possibly.
There might be some outages around and it's pulling double duty or something. Okay. If it's not a big deal, I might just... Hold on.
If it doesn't work for you, I have your sheet. I know you have your sheet.
I have dice.
Yeah,
I'm doing dice. Screw it. Natural 20.
Natural, okay. As you are looking around, here and there, at first you don't seem to see anybody else wearing the same cloaks or anything of the two that you saw. As you leave the cheap side of town into the slightly nicer side, it kind of starts to resemble the picture a bit more. the canal sides are a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. There's not quite as much swamp smell wafting up from the water. There's actually some very aesthetically pleasing, like, moss and stuff hanging from walkways and such. And especially at the end of summer, there's like a lot of lush greenery being kept around here. You come to an area that this is a larger inn that you had not been directed towards. You kind of started in a middling area and was sent further down. It seems quite full either way, but as you check inside, you can see, like further in the back, you can kind of see somebody. They have this kind of not quite the same sort of cloak, but like this cross sash that has similar colors across it. It's this appears to be.
Can I just point out this entire time that I've been sitting here silently, she hasn't done this?
I know!
And as soon as it's my turn, she's all over it. I would just like to point that out.
She's like, you're giving attention to something, aren't you?
Yep.
And it's not me.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Alright. He's a man who, for the most part, he seems human at first glance, but when you look closer, you kind of notice certain features that put him into the half-orc territory. Like, he's a little harsher, got, like, a partial tusk just kind of sticking up. He's just kind of sitting, people around him drinking. He's got, like, these, kind of like this silver fox thing going on with his hair, really short, swept back, silvery streaks starting to form.
Wait, the people around him, are they all, like, talking together, or is he just, like, kind of on his own?
They seem to be talking amongst each other. Every now and then somebody looks to him. He seems personally not as invested, despite being, among the group.
And the rest of the group is not wearing this sash?
No, they are not.
Do they look like townies, or do they look like people that might be in a similar thing, but not?
They appear to be, generically wealthy folk. They, you can't quite tell whether or not they're from another town or from here. They do seem like they're, like, from this region at least. Wearing various
is there an
shades of
empty chair?
finery.
At that table?
As you watch, somebody gets up and, like, kind of heads off, possibly to the privy. So a chair opens up.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna do that thing where I flip the chair around so I sit in it backwards. And I look directly at him.
Alright. Give me...
Wow, so tired. He got tired from the laser. Now he's collapsed.
I thought you were saying he was tired from being lazy.
Well, that too. That's why he's so tired from the lasers, because he's lazy. Oh, he can barely keep his eyes open. He's trying so hard.
Okay. As you come up to him and,
Oh! He's trying.
oh.
Big boy. Hello, buddy.
What's up, how you doing?
Oh,
Okay. As you kind of come in and plant yourself across from him, he kind of like pauses, maybe raising drinks, just looks back at you. Expression doesn't change, but he just kind of tilts his head a bit.
What do you mean?
The first part cut out, but you were asking what the sash means?
Yeah.
The sash marks me as a son of Bellum.
That does not clarify anything.
We're gonna catch up to Morrin, she's gonna be a dog. Like, accidentally inducted. He kind of like sighs, kind of mutters something, and in a sort of a broken orcish. And then looks back at you, still same stony, tired of everything expression. How far are you from?
A long way away.
You. I'm trying to play a serious character, can you not? Can you not?
No.
I'll shut up. So to put seems understandable to someone from outside of the Nine. The Sons of Bellum. I heard that. I'm gonna pull up my sheet so I stop needing to recenter myself every time he says something. Should be. The Sons of Bellum serve the interest of Bellum. We keep justice in the Prime Realm.
So you're law enforcement?
Somewhat. Law enforcement isn't always good at their job.
The difference between you and law enforcement is you're better at your job?
That's one difference. The other difference is we don't make allowances for some things that they might, depending on the kingdom.
So you're law enforcement for all kingdoms?
Sons of Bellum are a jurisdiction within themselves. If we see something that needs to be righted, it is our holy duty to do so.
So you are allowed to interfere in the affairs of all other cultures and countries?
If they're under the prime seat, yes.
So you are an international law enforcement?
If that helps you understand it.
It does not help me understand it if it is not true.
Say a thief crosses from one kingdom into another. He is not touchable in the kingdom in which he's wanted. He's no longer there. And another kingdom might not wish to punish him for crimes he committed somewhere else. Bellum, as the god of justice and order, doesn't see borders between kingdoms.
What if someone does not believe in Bellum? Then they are not under the jurisdiction of a god which does not exist to them.
They are in a kingdom that is.
And what do you do when you catch lawbreakers?
It depends on what they did. If it's something that requires the interest of Bellum, most of the time they get hanged.
And what is the process from you catching them to them being hanged?
Catching them.
So your idea of justice is someone is suspected of doing something wrong and you kill them?
We know that our marks have done wrong. The Order is well trained in making these decisions.
So what do you do if you do not know?
If we don't know, then they're not somebody who's done anything. If we know, then they've done it.
So if someone is good at what they do when they break the law, then Bellum cannot interfere.
They have to be really good. And at that, he finally gives a little bit of a smile.
You seem very confident in your abilities.
I've been doing this for 30 years.
So why do you have a sash and I see others with cloaks? What is difference?
The difference is I'm in charge.
So the sash is above the cloak.
I'm sure some would complain about putting it that way, but yes. The cloak.
And what is the cloak above?
The cloak are above the guards.
The guards of Bellum or of any place?
Of any place. He goes
So
back
who
to
is
the-
above the sash?
Bellum.
2 tiers, simple. So it is only you.
On this plane.
So on other planes, such as maybe Fahey, it is someone else.
Fey business doesn't interest me.
I was not asking if it interested you, I'm asking questions about your order.
The Fey no longer applies within the Prime, so
What about
the question doesn't have
Shadowfell?
an answer. Shadowfell. That's a myth.
You said on this plane, I was wondering what other planes you're talking about.
I was referring to the plane in which the gods exist.
And they do not exist on a mythical plane such as Shadowfell?
They exist in their realm. There is only this in the godly world.
To the Order of Bellum, I suppose.
I suppose.
Goodbye. And she gets up and walks away.
Walks up to a cop. So if I wanted to
I like to climb.
crime, and what happens if you commit a crime. Alright, bye.
Yeah, the impression, to put it in real world terms, the impression you would have gotten from that is he's basically Judge Dredd / Punisher.
That's exactly what I was thinking the entire conversation. Like, by the way, his name is Dredd. She didn't bother asking because she didn't care. Because Bellum is not a god to her.
He does have a name.
She doesn't care.
Morrin doesn't care, but if he ever returns, he is named.
Good to know.
He's named. That means he's important. That means we should kill him.
I don't think that's how that works, but maybe.
Okay. So do you leave the inn?
Is there anything interesting happening other than rich people talking?
Other than the Vellum guy to you? No.
Then yes. Goodbye.
So long farewell. Alright. Upon leaving the inn, what does Morrin do? Do you continue to look for a place to stay, or are you still examining town?
As long as the weather holds up, she's currently examining town, but now she's also keeping an eye out for somewhere where she could probably have a little bit of shelter and not be disturbed for about 4 hours.
Alright, since you rolled a 20, we're gonna keep that. Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna laugh, but I put the generator I pulled up in the wrong tab, and it was on camera the whole time. I'm gonna have to cover that up.
Okay. So as you wander around a little bit, you do notice a couple areas that seem, like as you're wandering, you do recognize a couple areas that seem like religious zones. The only denoting of any gods else that you see no more mention of, for example, Bellum, since he's on your mind at the moment. The only gods you see mention or hear from inside mention of are gods such as, you hear mention of Rhiannon and Vitae and Fahey. There seems to be no other mention of Bellum in this area outside of the person that you met.
Okay.
Livy's back.
Sorry, did you not hear me say BRB?
I think I might have missed it, but I figured you were running because your camera was turned off instead of gone.
That's what happened.
Okay. After wandering a bit, you work your way around to... you end up on the market side, like the abandoned area. In here you kind of see like this open... kind of looks like an open bar. Like just kind of this small little hut that's with barn doors that's just kind of swung out. Little table situated on each side. It's the only outdoor activity at the moment. There's some people kind of gathered around. Most of them look like travelers, people from campgrounds just kind of hanging out. But as you're moving through, you can kind of see behind it, there are these long stretches of rope stretching between the structure to the line of buildings behind, and you can see like a couple of people kind of like just hanging off the rope, sleeping it off.
That'll work.
Alright. So are you heading directly over, or are you just gonna skirt around and hit the rope?
Whichever way is quickest.
Either side is open to you.
Then I'll avoid people.
Okay. As you head towards the roped area, you can see, like, just standing to the side, somebody who you might judge to be the patron, just kind of glance over and go like, it's actually... and just lets you take the spot. And if Morrin's gonna hang out...
Yep.
We are switching.
Switch.
Switching.
We'll be switching.
Tingle.
Switching. Ouch.
We climbed out of the canal.
We did.
Dirty and stanky.
We're already dirty and stanky.
Dirty and
Things
stanky.
changed.
You're you replace the old
So
stink with
we
the new
go-
stink, so it's the same level of stink.
Oh, jeez.
So you are... What are we doing? Remind
What
me.
are we doing, Rhian?
I wanted to go over to the window Morrin bounced out of.
Oh.
And
You're
see if I can get any foot tracks.
Alright, would this be a survival or investigation? Because you have some skills.
That could be
A
either.
certain set of skills.
Survival is the tracking, so
Is
it
it a
might lean
particular set
further
of
towards
skills?
Are you looking just
Survival.
for signs, or are you trying to find a trail?
I'm trying to find a trail to follow.
Alright, yeah, roll survival.
Alright.
Is town your preferred terrain? You're not a ranger, you don't get advantage on that.
Actually I do because I have the feat that says fuck you, Ranger.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, roll survival with
Well,
advantage.
now.
No, my d20.
Hey.
God.
Oh, never
Yes,
mind.
That's a 10. I'm calm.
Oh, Rhian.
So outside
One
the
of these
window
days.
itself, you kind of see like a pattern of the kind of like bit from the broken frame, kind of like leading in a direction, but as you near the next street, there is no more sign. While you think of what to do, I'm gonna open the door to let the cat into the room now because he's being a bug. He's like, let me in.
Was that his meow that I heard?
Huh?
Is he meowing?
He's scratching, and I don't want him to ruin the door jam that I pay rent on.
Yeah.
So how am I going to find as inconspicuous?
Alright, what are you doing?
Just sniff around for leather and stifled emotions, you'll find her.
I loved it.
I feel like I can maybe ask around. She
You
was
can.
looking for an inn.
Cool, Chai, you did a stinky right before getting on my bed. Oh god!
Hey, buddy, you came into the room and immediately did that?
No, he did
Yes,
poop
we
and then
did
came
that.
into the room.
And then came into the room.
I
Great,
can tell
buddy.
he just did it because there's litter dust paw prints all up my bed now.
Oh, no. No, buddy.
Stinky boy!
Right, so we should check the other inns then? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we go around. We go inward and
Alright, let's get a move on then. We probably don't want to stick around here too long.
maybe ask about
Should-
very conspicuous townsfolk know.
Okay.
So we investigate.
Alright, So, yeah, roll investigation with advantage because you're all helping each other.
All of us, or just Rhian?
Who has the highest?
Who's taking the lead?
I'm just following
Okay.
Rhian for now since this was all her idea.
Yeah.
Plus 5.
Alright, roll investigation with advantage. Chai, put the d4 down.
You don't wanna.
He's got his face pressed in my dice like, treasure.
Advantage. Get a gift. So I'll take the 13.
But you're asking around.
So I'll take the 13 instead of the natural 1 with 6.
Okay. So, for the first little while, it's kind of hard to make heads or tails of where she might have gone, because you couldn't tell exactly which direction she was going in, and most people are inside. However, as you kind of work your way, following the sound of somebody that you could ask, stop it.
Yeah.
A couple of people kind of point you in a general direction up towards the kind of like the northern river's edge of town. So in the direction of like the nicer stuff, but also some campgrounds in the market area. Just that general direction.
All right. So what do we do now, Generator?
Just kind of wander around.
All right. We wander around.
Just
See if there's
wandering around.
any businesses that seem very Morrin-like, which probably doesn't exist, but whatever place she'd be most like to go
Where
in.
she ended up is not Morrin-like.
No.
She's sleeping on a 4-penny rope behind a bar. Like literally the whole this is what the word hungover is based on. That's what she's doing.
So I guess we go rope. Actually,
you don't know.
direction.
All right, so you asked around. You wound up in this section of town.
Do we see any Bella? Because we're gonna avoid them. We're not gonna ask them about
You
Bella.
don't.
Don't want.
You occasionally spot town's guard here and there.
Also avoid those for the most part.
Yeah. So. Kitten.
Yeah, we just got out of the Clue Inn.
So we're actively trying to avoid guards?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we just got out of the Clue.
Alright. So.
Cat.
Oh, hi, buddy.
So cute.
Stanky.
Bubble.
Stinky boy.
He's stinky,
roll
but he's
me-
cute, so
roll
it's
me-
okay.
Roll me stealth.
All of us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Having some decent rolls tonight.
Yes, you are.
Don't jinx myself. Shut up.
Tintlet, no!
26.
Did she put back on her performer's clothes?
She hasn't had time!
So I carry.
Right,
I'm
so you're
right behind
stealthing,
you,
You're also
ish.
looking at a new area of town, so if you want to roll investigation again.
Is this with advantage too?
Are you being helped?
Am I? I don't...
Yeah.
Okay,
help.
then you have advantage.
That's a
That's
19.
better.
Okay. So, as you're making your way through town, you manage to... Tyr and Rhian do fairly well, kind of sticking to the shadows. Tyr, even despite his size, seems very adept at staying unnoticed when he doesn't want to be. Tintlet, however, seems a little, distracted about her emotional turmoil. She's kind of sitting there like, doesn't quite get into the shadows enough when somebody's coming around. And, you hear...
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Mom! Say hi, Mom. Say hi, Mom.
No hi, Mom, for you.
Oh, I'm ghosted. Don't lay on the cord. I can't move when you lay on the cord.
So Mom and Tina are here.
Mom and Tina are here. Say hi for me. Wanted to hear it, damn it.
They said hi.
Why did you mute?
No?
He is hugging his closed dice tray like a pillow. It is so cute.
Oh, picture I want to see.
Buddy.
Oh, that works too. Buddy is the keeper of the
I
dice.
know too much about his.
Buddy.
I know too much about his litter box habits. I think he's cute, but
He's actually better since his problem.
He's feeling better.
He's much cleaner since then because he was so sore that he would be like licking immediately.
Poor buddy.
So now he's like,
Oh,
it's just
buddy.
habit so far.
There you go. That's one way to do it.
I knocked
So
on the
sucks
wall
for him
and then
now.
he started lifting his foot and tapping it too.
Oh.
Are you gonna purr into the mic? Go ahead, purr into the mic.
much.
Okay. So Tintlet's not quite keeping up fast enough to get back into the shadows in time. All of a sudden you hear, "Oh my god, hi!" And
I don't know anyone that peppy.
and then a loud jingling as
No.
as a brightly dressed elf comes running from an open tavern door and launches herself at Tintlet, wraps her arms around her.
No, we're looking for goth, not pastel.
Wrong color scheme.
She's not pastel, she's wearing like a bright blue.
Really. Oh. You do approve of the color.
She's sitting there like hugging onto it, like, "Oh my god, you were missing all day! It's been crazy here." You recognize her as, "Hi buddy, you wanna sit? Do you want to sit?" Her name is Rochelle, she's a member of your troop.
Can ever come from somebody named Rochelle. Oh, Bobby. Got kind of quiet again, Rashna.
Slightly,
Kind
but
of.
not really.
How about now?
A little bit.
Yeah, I have my face on my computer.
Oh, we gotta figure out what's going on with your mic.
Yeah.
Working so well now that.
There's gotta be some weird setting that's just
Yeah.
off. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
Okay. So, yeah, Rochelle is like clinging on to you and hugging.
Typically, I would be doing the same. Tintlet is very distracted right now. She's like, "Oh yeah, we've been having a crazy times of our own." Kind of politely shakes her off. As politely as one can, at least.
Oh, as you detach yourself, she steps out. She looks very confused, maybe a little hurt. She kind of pouts a little bit, like, "Where have you been?"
The Wassy Bench. It's an interesting little place on the other side of town.
With false advertising.
Oh, the place that's with the hanging and it kind of stinks over there?
Direct.
Is she not bothered by my smell is my question.
She had not reacted, no.
She's very diplomatic of her, I appreciate that.
She's...
I mean, I'm in a hurry. Go tell the troop master I'll be by tomorrow for practice as usual, of course.
Okay, but you don't want to join the rest of us? And she gives you these giant puppy eyes.
I could go for one drink, I think. And I go with her. I try and tell them sorry with my eyes. But I really could go for one drink, I think.
Okay.
why people with stable occupation.
Huh?
What?
All right, so
What?
as she is leading, she kind of like takes you by the hand, Tintlet, just kind of starts leading you away, just kind of happily telling you all about her day. Not much has happened. As she's walking away, though, Rhian, you hear her say something that was like, "Oh, you should have seen this elf that was here earlier. She had just the whole look, just like black everything. She was really scary."
Oh, tell me more about this elf.
Alright, we're traveling ditward.
Alright.
A couple of us were over by one of the expensive inns, trying to just find like some nicer lodging for the night. But she just came in and just sat herself just down at the table across the room, and it's like, I don't know, that guy was scary. Like, he's just like that kind of, not like the scary, but like he's just like all quiet and stoic, and it's kind of like there's just a lot going on, but you're never gonna crack that kind of look about him. That kind of scary.
Which inn was it? We were seeing, my friends were thinking about maybe going to something more expensive as well.
Oh, it was so fancy. Could not. So fancy. It's a little on that end of town.
What she's saying is that I can't afford it. That's what she's saying.
She's saying she can't afford it too, to be honest.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like after she left, we kind of stayed a little bit. Like, I tried to see if he would talk to me, but he wouldn't talk to me.
Alright, she left. No point in going.
But I can show you where it is.
Yeah, you wouldn't happen to know which direction she left in.
I think she was going towards the campgrounds.
Campgrounds. Alright.
So you said the rest of the troop was with you at the inn?
Yeah, we're overstaying at this little place. A bunch of people just like left tonight after the whole tree business. They're not having it. So there's like plenty of room. We just put on a show and they gave us a spot. We're all kind of in the same room, but it's not outside.
Oh, okay. I think I left something at the campground. I might want to check that out. I also want to see this inn you're telling me about. You said you could take us there?
Oh yeah, it's all the way on it's like further north, like when the canal, you know how there's the dirty canals over by that mossy bench place? This is like the clean ones, like you go further up. There's boats and stuff.
Have it.
Nobody told me there was clean canals and dirty canals. Wish I would have known the difference. No regrets.
But yeah, so are we all going with her to the fancy tavern? Because I heard one of you noted that Morrin left.
We know that she's already left. There's no reason.
Yeah, she left and she went to the
Yeah.
campgrounds, is what you've learned.
Yep.
Are we saying this in front of Rochelle, or are we whispering?
So I'm just reminding you what you just heard. So she can't distract you, because Rochelle is very distracting.
Distracting in what way?
Tyr's probably thinking, if she were a redhead.
Fair enough. Well, she's Tintlet's buddy, so he won't.
I can already tell you what Rhiann's thinking, and it's this bitch is giving me ulcers.
He's giving you what? You cut off.
This bitch is giving me ulcers.
Wow.
We'll carry on to the campground then.
I can't afford this inn on second thoughts. Alright, we'll go back check out on the campground, maybe.
Oh, okay. Well, we're right up. See that green sign right there? We're the little place next to it.
Alright, well, I'll be right there. It just feels 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Never give a time.
Tintlet, since you know her, you are aware that it doesn't matter what time you gave her, she will not keep track of it.
She's probably not passing my message on to the troop master either, is she?
It's honestly a crapshoot. Sometimes she does.
Alright, well, I don't know if I really want her to at this point either.
You have equal faith that she will as much as she will not. Poke. Stop staring at me. Alright, so. Are we going towards the campgrounds?
Kind of a
Yeah.
cat's MO.
What?
Is it staring is kind of a cat's.
It is kind of the cat
But-
thing. Alright. I made it nighttime.
I was getting ready to say, it looks all dark and nighttime like. Woo!
Alright, as you're approaching the campgrounds, passing through the market, past, like, the only light source is off to the side, this open barn door bar. And you just kind of, campgrounds is, like, straight on the other side of the market. As you are wandering through, Rhian, with your 16, you...
My elven eyes.
Despite it being dark, you kind of catch, like, you can't see in the dark, so you can't really make it out, but you see a shape as you're heading through the market towards the campgrounds, by the remains of the tree.
Oh.
A shape by the remains of the tree. How far are we? From the shape?
You would have seen it as you left the building line and entered the market, so let me actually put where you are.
Calcamo.
You guys are coming in this corner. That's Tintlet twice.
It's corner.
Bottom right corner. So through the dark and the fog, you can see movement there. But that's as much as you can make out, because you are human and it's nighttime.
I should have
Yes, the
taken a
distance.
class. I should have taken a class that let me see in the dark, shouldn't I?
It's like you can see it because of the light from the open bar building. It's a shape about 60 feet away, right at the bottom of the tree. That's what you see. That's what you do.
Alright. I approach the tree.
Alright.
Yeah.
As you get closer, you can kind of make out the shape just kind of like sitting on one of the remains of the market tables there. As you approach, it kind of looks up, kind of swaying, but directly at you.
That's the mannerism of Redbeard.
And you see the old man. He
I wanted to have a talk to you.
Huh?
Huh? I said,
You said, what?
What?
You said,
cut out.
And then you cut out.
Okay. I said I wanted to have a talk with him, but I'm afraid. Because he's dead.
Easy
Or he had a twin brother, we never decided.
Tintlet, you can see him perfectly fine. Because you're an elf.
Elven eyes.
Tintlet, what do your elf eyes see?
Some guy.
And Tyr, you can see the shape, but you would not be able to tell who it is unless you came up along with Rhian and approached the tree.
I am.
Are they dry?
Yeah, you can.
Hi, Mom. Busy. Mother, why?
So what were you saying? Because
I was letting Tintlet know that she could see that it's the old man that hung out by the stage in this troop from from when you came into the market because of her night vision or dark vision. Tyr would have been able to see it then when he followed you up to the tree. So everybody's going up to the tree?
Yes.
Okay.
I am. I want to see what's up with this dude.
Alright, so.
Dude.
I don't even know he's dead. I think Rhian told her.
She?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I would have recounted because he was the one that gave me the earwig. So I would have complained. Oh god, there was a flash just.
Alright. So, yeah, as you approach him, you can kind of see he's there seems to be like a pallor over him. He's not quite like you knew him before. He's like this kind of smiling, annoying old man. But very
I never thought he was.
very lively, for lack of a better word. But now he seems solemn. Like Tintlet, you can see very clearly there's these like shadows under his eyes, and he looks like he's got like some bruising in what's exposed from under his cloaks.
I don't approach him completely. I definitely like 6 feet apart, you know? I say, hello, sir, are you alright?
That's an interesting question. I don't think so.
Did you ever have like a twin brother?
You're gonna have to repeat that. You cut out.
You literally
Did
just
you ever
asked
have,
me if
like,
he's got a twin brother.
Yes.
Oh. Not a twin.
Split?
No. Why?
I don't want to sound rude, sir, but you're supposed to be dead.
Oh.
Rather we found someone who looks an awful lot like you that was, well, let's just say he wasn't among the living anymore.
That happens.
Was it now? Oh.
So you're like a spirit?
I suppose.
Shapeshifter?
No. The only shapeshifter is gone now.
I knew that part.
I tentatively reach out and try.
What?
Did you hear that?
No, you
I
cut
said
out.
I tentatively reach out and try to see if he's solid.
You trying to see if he's
Shoulder, like,
solid?
Yeah.
As you reach out to touch him, you feel something there that's like not letting your hand pass through, but it doesn't feel like when you touch his shoulder, you don't feel cloth. It's like the air is thick.
Spoopy.
Kira gives a very interested
It's
look at
spooky
that.
season.
Yeah.
It is spoopy season, and then walks over to the tree and puts a claw on the tree instead while staring at the man.
The tree feels oddly warm.
Yeah, it was on fire or what?
Yeah, two
Hasn't been
rains
on
ago.
fire for a while.
Literally 2 rains ago. It feels oddly warm and dry.
It's you, grandfather.
What was that?
Tree. It's you.
No. Well,
No?
maybe. It's been a long time. Things get tied up.
Sorry for that.
It's not your fault. Trees burn. Things die. Can I help you?
Is there
Sure
any-
yet.
I cut out again. Is there any way that we can help you?
Well, apparently I'm dead. I don't know how much helping there can be done.
Well, that's fair, I guess.
He looks directly at you, Rhian, like, dead in the eye. He goes like, "You don't remember your parents, do you?"
No. Do you?
No. It's been way too long.
Wait, too long since my parents or your... Whose parents are we talking about here?
Oh, were you asking about if I knew yours? No.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I could see it in you.
Oh,
The fuck is that supposed to be?
creepy.
I don't remember mine, because how long it's been. I hoped that I would be remembered. Forgot me.
Got you.
I think you were calling her a hag.
The hag. Got you.
Oh yeah, that woman that Fee forgot the name of, but Rhian totally.
Pren.
What?
Mam Pren.
Mampren?
That's what they called her, yes.
Is she gonna be around here like you?
No. She wasn't. She hadn't been around long enough.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you saw her as old. She was not old enough.
Or does one become old enough?
By living that long, and being the right person. Her roots hadn't gone deep enough into the land yet.
Confused. Are you people or you trees?
Tree
People?
Treeble.
In a sense. No. I think the word you use now... Guardian? No. Druids.
It's...
Yes.
Why
Is
is
Lindsay
she-
okay?
What just happened?
I don't know, I just saw her disappear and then the camera shook. I think she dropped something.
Are you okay?
Okay. I just have a I just have a corner of my eye. I just saw Lindsay's head go drop out of sight. The camera was just shaking. I'm okay.
My Sure's protector got knocked out of the wall. I had to crawl under the desk to fix it.
I figured it was. I saw you with something in your hand. I was like, she's probably fixing something, but out of the corner of my eye, all I saw was. said was druids.
I heard it.
Okay.
So you're a druid?
Yes, I started that way.
I have a question, and I take out the I have a note that has the rubbings of the charms on the tree, and ask, can you read this?
Bebo.
I can read it. I wrote it.
What does it say?
My name.
Sweet.
It's
I
a protection charm, if that's what you were asking. We tied ourselves to the land here. I tied myself to the town. Ren tied herself to the swamp.
All those trees in the woods had markings on them. Are those all people too?
Some of them.
I roll up the sleeve on my left arm and show him the ring on my upper. Can you read this? Does the DM know what it says yet?
I can read it.
I feel like I'm not questions.
It's
Same
a
mistake.
shield.
Can you read it to me?
It says shield. You're being protected.
Where did you get those,
Sweet.
Rhian?
I got them with the elves.
Elves gave them to you? Or what?
As long as I can remember.
So you might have had them before the elves.
It looks like either someone really loved you or doesn't want you to be found. Do you need anything else? I'm really tired. My daughter died today.
Oh, shit.
Grace, did we kill his dog?
Shh.
Let's say the
I'm
demons.
very sorry for your loss, grandfather.
She was hardly Pren anymore.
She, seemed quite troubled. What I understood.
Yes, she was in a low.
Pazuzu done it.
Shh.
I mean, it was in Abyssal. I'm gonna close my door. Think.
They're back.
Still recording. Okay. Okay. He just kind of, you see, so he just sighs, and whatever light was still in his eyes, just kind of seems to fade, and he kind of pales ever further. He just says, "With her gone, I guess I'm leaving. Nothing else. Day 4. And, what'd you say?
What?
What did you say?
Absolutely nothing.
And all of you, you start to hear this hollow cracking sound, splintering of wood. When you, coming from the tree. When you look towards it, it seems, it kind of seems like it's starting to stir.
Step back from it.
I get out of here.
As you watch it, instead of starting to like move and such as the way it did before, the branches kind of shiver, and then the blackened charring of the burns starts to spread. Spreads over the entire tree until it is covered, just blackened and dead. Leaves remaining on it kind of like slowly turn to dust. Little flakes of ash from the bark just kind of drift up. Kind of start to drift on the light breeze that's blowing through the market. As you kind of watch it kind of like blacken and shrivel, the trunk starts to crack and split open, and what looks like a cloudy swarm of first thing that pops in your head would be fireflies erupts from it, but fireflies aren't so greenish or so big. Each one is like a little ball of light about could fit in the center of your palm. The lights kind of slowly bloom up from the trees and then up into the sky over the rooftops and just kind of drift out over the town until the entirety of the first fort is absolutely blanketed in them. Morrin, you would notice this as well because as you're kind of hungover, some strips kind of slowly down over the streets, swirling through the canals. Every now and then, kind of. Why are you breathing so hard into the mic?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, because I'm holding it close to my face so it doesn't cut out again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Kind of like tanking against windows. They linger for a while, kind of but slowly like drifting along with the breeze.
That is really pretty and extreme. Extremely creepy.
I was about to say sad, but I suppose a little unsettling.
Rhian, you notice that where the old man was, while you're watching this, out of the corner of your eye, you notice just suddenly the old man who was right next to you is gone.
Unsettling.
In the lights kind of, like I said, they linger for a while, just moving through town, until eventually it is quite a while later. Eventually each and every single one of them has been blown on the breeze toward the river, kind of just disappears downstream into the fog.
I wasn't expecting that exactly.
And
What?
And moment of silence. So, that was a thing.
Did we kill his daughter?
We killed his daughter.
As he said, it wasn't much her anymore. There was something else going on it. Something else at play, so...
Pazuzu done it.
If anything, it might have been a mercy.
To the cottagecore, I mean goth elf.
Roll perception checks. I need to actually be where I can see their rolls. And it is wrong screen. Damn good.
I see nothing. Why are my rolls like this?
Tintlet is still watching what's left of the lights drifting down the river.
Pretty nice.
Pretty nice. It is quite pretty. I want to do the drawing someday. Hopefully
Yes.
this next week.
That'd be really cool.
Tyr, as you're kind of like looking around, you notice over by the open bar a few people have come out and we're kind of just watching it. Some looking a little worried, couple young people going like, ooh, ah. Few of them are very drunk, clearly going like, like they have their minds
Easily
blown.
amused. Yes.
Rhian, as you are moving off again, you feel as you take a step, you feel something scuff against your boot on the ground. And you look down and you see the wooden talisman that the old man was wearing, with the carved face of leaves.
I pick it up.
Looking it over in the light spilling from the open bar, you see it's this old. It's very worn, like What's your passing? Yep. You can tell that this thing is at least a couple hundred years old. Hand carved face. On the back, you see a spiral of writing in the Druidic language.
Son of a fuck.
Because you rolled so high in perception, you grew up with the elves. You notice just a familiar feeling in your hand, where you're just like, this isn't just wood.
This is magic wood. I pocket. So I have one creepy tree face talisman. Wood.
Okay. Morrin, did you react to the lights?
She kind of looked at them, but they don't really have any significance for her.
Yeah, they just generally feel like they feel sad and spirity, so it's like, oh, this is normal as far as you're concerned.
Sad spirity.
Yep. Like, I'm from Despair, the realm. This is new, not new.
Yeah. Feels like home.
Yeah.
Except a lot brighter.
Yeah.
Wooden face
Alright,
talisman.
so you guys were heading away from the market towards the campground?
Yes, so.
Okay. This is like Serpent's Pass level right there.
What is?
The fact that
She's right there, but we're still going to the campgrounds because that's where we think she is.
She's literally on the other side of the bar.
You'd probably see us not even wave us down.
She can't see you.
Okay.
Behind the bar.
Okay.
Kind of hanging out. You saw the lights. Everyone saw the lights. Okay, and that's what I had for tonight. We're actually ending before Lindsay has to go.
Wow.
I wasn't gonna actually ask if we could stop because I need to take a shower before work tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a good stopping point.
By the way, Redbeard has graduated to...
Redbeard?
The time. He's graduated to what?
He's graduated to Treebeard and...
Oh, I was gonna say Redbeard to Deadbeard, but okay. Treebeard's better.
No, I'm not that bad.
Alright.
It's probably good that we're quitting now, too, because it's really storming now.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I thought it was bad earlier.
Storm and Rashna having work and it being 10:33.
That's good.
Alright.
Alright. Thanks for playing.